to my quick kind of bootleg on the fly chat session here. We are about 13 minutes after the hour. We are 17 minutes away from the end of my Kickstarter campaign, and I wanted to just hop on the air here and kind of ride this through. I don't have a lot of time. I have a day off after my my trip to Philadelphia, and so I got a lot of errands to run. I'm going to be meeting with the t-shirt vendor today, but I wanted to just walk this down the aisle and do the final 20 minutes or so with this Kickstarter with you guys here. I want to thank you guys, for all the support that you've given. You've donated a great deal, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I want to put it on the Kickstarter page here, just so that we can go through it that way. And also, I need to. We've got that infinite regression thing going. Let me move that over. Excellent. So here we are right now at 19,200. We'll try to bring this thing through to the end. Would be great. Regrettably, someone who had done a $500 donation just removed it just a few minutes ago. So now we were up to 19,700. Now we're down at 19,200. That was kind of my concern, that there might have been some people who kind of put fake donations up there in order to get it up just over the limit, with the idea at the last minute kind of bringing it down under. It looks like maybe a couple people have had that in mind, and now they're just withdrawing their pledge because they don't actually want to donate any money, and that's perfectly fine. I need to do a quick bit of housekeeping here. I'm going to move this off to the side. Since I don't really have any plans, and I wasn't really planning on going live, I really lost track of time being out of town. I might just do some comment page cleanup and do some replies to comments live here. Let's see. Let me get the chat up and going so I can see this thing. Like I said, I wasn't really prepared. So let's see what I can do. Let's see who's in the room. Anybody? I'm not going to put this out for everybody because I don't want to. I don't want to make this a long thing. And if I allow people to come in and chat, it's going to end up being a long time, and I have errands to run, so I can't do that. So who do we have in the room here, real quick? Maeve, Twitwit, hello, nice to see you, Mr. Itchy. Mr. Itchy, did you order a t-shirt? Good, that's great. Let's see, who do we got? Who else is in the room? Sapphire Sapien, nice name. Hey, Anon, nice to see you back. So you can donate at my Kickstarter here is at Kickstarter /projects. Let me see if I can put it in the description. Just look up Poll to Poll. I will, and you'll be able to find. Let's see if I can stick it in the description here. I'm not a pro at this. It's like some of you guys are, so it takes me a while. It takes the old man a little while to do things. Let's see. Maybe someone can stick it in the chat. That would be great. But if you go to Poll to Poll, Circumnavigation of the Globe, it's just search for that on Kickstarter. Let's see if someone can slap that in the chat for me. That would be great. Oh, there we go. Link to Kickstarter coming up. Excellent. Viz Mayhem, new sub, huge fan. Thank you very much. Konnichiwa from 3 Mori? Oh, it's 4 a.m. for you, Critical Think. Hey, you can't link things. Okay, I'll take care of this here. Hold on, let me get this together. Chat amongst yourselves. We are at 13 minutes toward the end. I'm going to do a quick refresh on this, see if anything else has happened. All right, there we go. Another t-shirt person. Excellent. Like I said, I'm meeting with a vendor today to get a sample of the blanks. I want to make sure it's a decent quality shirt because, yeah, you guys deserve decent quality stuff. Let's see if I can get the Kickstarter link in here for you. Copy that. Info. Let's see if I can. Alrighty. I've pasted that in the description. If you guys refresh to the description, you will see the link. Actually, that's a little bit longer than it needs to be. It's got some of my information in there. Let me let me go back and edit that. You don't need all of this. You just need that. All right. So refresh and you can get that there. That'd be great. Anything you can do. I have a ton of videos to make, of acknowledgments to make. It's going to be great. I think right now I'm at almost 200 $10 or more donations. So I will be making 200 or so short videos while I'm on the trip, acknowledging all of those. And one thing I do want to make a quick shout out to those that didn't ask for any of the perks. Almost 22% of the people who donated without a request for any type of gift from me, and I think that's very generous of you. You guys understand that really brings the effectiveness of your money up when you don't ask for the perks. If you pledge $100, but you're not asking for a shirt or a poster or art, then that's that much more money that can actually go directly toward the project. And so I thank you guys for that. Like I said, a full 20%, maybe even more, didn't ask for any of the gifts. So you guys are extra thanks there. Others, the idea of pledging $2 just, is great. $5 is great. Even these minimal things, they add up. A great deal of the amount that was raised was just in that $10 range. A lot of little $10 went a long way. Yes, there were a few that did some sizable dollar amounts. Four, in fact, one didn't even ask for any type of compensation, but it goes a long way. And so I thank you guys a lot. Let's see what else is going on in the room here. See what you guys are talking about before I start just rambling on about the comments I'm getting. Some people are good. No, a lot. The people who've supported me for the most part on this have been great. Like I said, I know there's a couple. I know there are a couple who put in large amounts with the idea of sabotaging things, but they are few and far between. Most of the time, people have contributed, and if they've changed their pledge, it's been because they've decided to ask for a different gift, or have gone up in their amount. So people have been great. And you guys have to know that when I first started this, I was truly doubtful that this would be successful. I was truly doubtful this would be successful because, times are hard, and it's money that, a lot of people don't think is going to go towards something that's particularly productive. But so I was not going to say I was unprepared, but I was kind of unprepared for the response. You guys stepped up, especially right out of the box. I think we had $4,000 or $5,000 within the first 36 hours or something like that. And I was looking at the statistics of Kickstarters, and they say that 90% of Kickstarters that are successful, something like 90%, they get 10% or more of their draw within the first day, or actually, excuse me, within the first 7 days. And the fact that within the first 7 days we were at 50% was amazing. And actually, that's when I got the idea that this might actually happen. Take another J Doe. Man, there's so many John Does out there. It's crazy. Take D Marble with, no, that's not going to happen. He's already said in a video, I think it was a couple days ago, that people have been suggesting that he go on this flight, but he's already kind of poo-pooing it. He set up in the video that the people who are conducting this event aren't going to allow scientific equipment and this and that. And so he's really kind of setting up the premise that so that no matter what, he can dismiss it. He doesn't want to go on the flight. He could go on the flight. He just went to, he's in Alaska right now doing some odd little experiment that people have done a bunch of times. I don't know what he's trying to get out of it, but he's got the money for it. At least he could probably get the money for it if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to because he doesn't want to know the answer when it comes down to it. So he's going to try his best, and the rest of that so-called community are going to try their best to poo-poo this, to denigrate it, so then they can try to dismiss it. But I will have enough official documents that they won't be able to say anything about it. They'll try to, but their words will ring hollow. The idea that you have to be able to do a scientific experiment on this plane is the only way to verify things is absurd. I don't know what they consider a scientific experiment, for one, but as I said in my previous video, simple observation and tracking is enough to tell what's going on here. If you have a flat Earth map, if you have any type of model, you can predict what you think would happen. And that's a test of your model. It's a test of your theory. If you can predict something that comes directly from your model, from your so-called theory, if you can make a prediction, and then you can test that prediction by having it happen. You're not on camera, by the way. Then you can, that's a verification. So the idea of having to do experiments is kind of silly. I'll do what I can there, but it's not necessary to do an actual experiment. I can predict beforehand what I think should happen with a compass. I can predict beforehand what the GPS should show. I can predict beforehand where the sun should be through the windows, given the direction I am allegedly going. I can make a prediction of all these things. And then we can observe and see if that happens. So other things that don't require experimentation at all. If I fly from New York to, where are we at? We are 4 minutes away from the end of this Kickstarter, and we're doing well. Let me do a refresh here real quick and see what's happening in terms of action. We're at 19,320. That's excellent. So please, if you're thinking of donating, do so now. If you want to get a personal message from me, if you want to get me to follow you and promote you on a video, if you want me to do any type of personal art for you, or get you a t-shirt, or get you one of my upcoming posters, please, now's the time to get your donation in. You have 4 minutes. So what I was saying is, even without experimentation, we know where New York is, we know where Argentina is, we know where Australia is, and we know where China is. If I fly from New York to Argentina, it's going to take me a certain amount of time. And actually not the most important thing, is because even on a flat Earth map, they believe that you can fly from New York to Argentina. It's a straight line as far as they're concerned. Let's do a quick refresh here, see if we're getting anywhere. Okay, we're gonna maybe we'll hit 19.5. We'll see what we do. So even on a flat map, you can go from New York to Argentina. Now the trick comes when you go from Argentina to Australia. Now, I have yet to see a flat Earth map that has Australia anywhere near Argentina. So we can mark the time. I will definitely make sure, I got to make sure I have my data rates good, but I will definitely go live when I land in Argentina, so that there is a online marker that says at a certain time, Greater Sapien went live when he was in Argentina. Hopefully I'll be able to film getting my my passport stamped by the officials there and all that. Then 12 or so hours later, I will be in Australia, and I will go live again there. And there will be a definite marker on the internet of a time that Greater Sapien went live in Australia at a certain time. And hopefully I will be able to film the stamping of my passport there. They also have a passport ceremony I think they're going to be doing when you go over the South Pole. They're going to have a special passport stamp for that. But so then you'll have a marker of when I was in Argentina and when I was in Australia. No scientific experiment is required to be able to say at X time he was here and at Y time he was here. Simple math says this is how fast the plane was going. On a flat Earth map, you can look at the distance to see how fast the plane would have to be going. On a globe, you can look at the distance and see how fast the plane was going. No scientific equipment is required for that, except for a watch and the knowledge of the distance between the two places. So the idea that not allowing scientific equipment, we're down to 1 minute on this guy. Sorry, I'm just noticing here. So the idea that not being able to take scientific equipment on this plane makes it invalid is by itself an invalid argument. All right, here we're coming in. I'm assuming that the clocks for Kickstarter are just as good as my clock. And so we're coming in here. We got about 20 seconds left. And let's see how we're going. We are 121%. Thank you for that little donation. We are 121% funded as of right. Come on, let's refresh. As of right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's not refreshing anymore. Launched, deadline, pledged. Maybe their clock is a little bit different. I didn't know. I was expecting some type of explosion saying that it was all done. But according to, or maybe it goes to the end of the minute. Who knows? Because it doesn't say it's done yet. So we're going to keep going. Who's in there? Bum, bum, bum. Let's see where we're going here. 4 seconds ago, it says 4 seconds. And boom, we are done. Congrats, your project is successful. And then it says I'll get the money in about 14 days. Here we go, folks, right here. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot. Right there. That is awesome. Done and done. Done and done. And good thing too. So because I found out last week that the cutoff date for paying everything was at the end of this month. I guess they're looking at making sure they got the flight paid for and everything. So they requested that all payments in full be made by the end of this month. And I don't know if you know anything about Kickstarter, but it will. It's going to take 2 weeks before I get the money for this Kickstarter here. So I already paid for the ticket. I had to float it. I had to take the shot that you guys were going to do it and just pay it out of pocket. It was nerve-wracking. I was nervous because it's a lot of money. But I knew you guys would be able to do it. So I just paid out of pocket right up front just to make sure we made it under the deadline. And so now, the money's actually there. So thank you very, very much. Yeah, I did have faith. Who's saying that? Alexander Williams. I had faith, Law. Yes, I did. Look, I am not one of those people who will tell you that having faith is the wrong thing. I am not one of those people. If you don't have faith in your fellow man, you are not going to get far in this world, and you're not going to live long without a bunch of stress. Every so often, you have to take a gamble on people. You have to have faith in people. You have to trust people who have been places that you have not to give you information. You have to trust the people who came before you. And so to say you can't have faith is foolish. Relying on that solely and trying to act like faith is fact is a totally different thing. Yes, I had a certain amount of faith given the trend that we were going to make it, but it was, a little bit foolish of me to take it as a fact. So you're right. Don't let religion steal the word faith. Thank you very much. George Michael's right. Oh yeah, yeah. Gotta have faith. Faith. Okay, what else is going on in here? So I'm gonna. This is awesome. Thank you very much. This is you guys right here. And I don't know if I can show you guys here without revealing people's stuff. I don't want to reveal what people have said, people have done. Reward popularity. Here we go. Let's just look at the reward popularity. And the reason is because this tells you what I'm going to have to do while I'm on this. Take a pic of Jamaica when you're flying out. I'll see what I can do. So let's see. A full 65 people didn't ask for any reward. That's 3,831 pledges, $81 worth of pledges, with which is 20% of the money. Asking for no rewards. That's awesome. The biggest amount was a T-shirt, folks, with 99 people getting a T-shirt and all the things down the line. Then we have the post of $20 folks, 54 of those. $10 folks, 52 of those. That was went a long way. Let's see. A couple of 35 people did $100. That's great. That's remarkable. We had 20 backers with just 5. And just 7 people just did the $2. That's amazing. I find it interesting that so few people went for hardly any money. When it came down to it, people were either willing to put up some serious money or nothing at all. And it's, I thank you guys for that. But all of these here, oh, what's this one at the end? Oh, these are folks that did the $1,000. Yo, that's crazy. But all these folks here are, for example, I'm going to have to follow on their social media. So over the weekend, I'm going to be getting all the information. I'm going to send out, and the way this works, folks, any of you online right now who donated, the way this works is today I'm going to be putting together a survey, and it will ask specific questions about each one of these reward tiers. So, for example, if you're tier 1, it's going to say, please send me a link to your YouTube so I can subscribe. If you'd like me to subscribe, send me your profile for your Twitter if you'd like me to follow you. That's for the first layer. And then that same question will be asked to the second tier, but they're also going to say, 1, do you want me to say your real name when it comes to promoting you in a video? What other social media would you like me to promote in your video? I'm going to put on this. So here's here. Just stopped on this here. Look at my face for a little bit. You can look at my mug. So for tier 2, yeah, what social media would you like me to follow you on? Would you like me to promote? And if it's okay for me to say your real name, because some people don't want to have their real name said. They just want their Twitter handle, whatever that might be. And I'll probably ask you how to pronounce whatever if you can put it out phonetically. Next tier up is when you get to the video, and same questions as before, but specifically, is there anything special, special notes, and maybe you have a shout out to a family member you want me to make, any particular phrase you would like me to say. I may or may not say, depending on if you try to have me say something vile or something that's just, insane. So anything unique about the video you'd like me to say. Next tier up, when it comes to it's the same information, only the difference is I need addresses and things like that so I can send you the poster. Same information for the next tier up, except for I need to give you T-shirts. You need to give me a T-shirt size. And then up from there, what was the next one up? Same information. And then up from there is I'll need for those few of you that did the $1,000 ones and want me to call you, I'll need your contact information. And when the best times, I'll let you know when the possibilities of me calling you during the flight are. It might be when I land in Argentina, land in one of these different places, or it might be possible to do it in flight. So we'll figure that out. So I'm going to be sending out a survey in the next couple of days asking for all that information. I know a couple people have already told me in their comments or in their messages that they do have certain situations and they don't want their real name to be said. So I want to make sure that information is kept confidential. And so if there's something like that, you guys need to tell me. So that's going to happen over the next couple days. and then I'm going to go into production on all the swag. So the video, I'll still be doing the main content on my YouTube channel, of course, but I'll also be sharing with you the progress of the different things I'm doing. I'm going to be shopping for different compasses. I'm going to be testing GPS. I'm going to be generating the content for these gifts. So I'll probably do some live sketching, the design of the poster, maybe even the press check on the t-shirts. I'm going to be sharing all that just so you guys see what's going on this and know that it's just not, money wasn't just donated and I'm just going to do what I want to with it. I'm going to fulfill these things. And we'll do that on and off until we get this thing done. I'm already in communication with the people who are running the event to make sure that this goes smoothly, and they know that I am not one of the troublemakers that are starting all the noise. I guess people have threatened, been threatening to try to get me swatted and things like that, just to try to stop me from doing this. It's amazing what people are willing to do when their worldview is threatened. It's incredible. Enjoy my new car? No, nope. Like I said, you may not have heard it, but I actually, because of the timeline on this whole thing, I had to already buy the ticket. And so the ticket's been bought and paid for. And so I took a gamble that you guys were going to come through on this. So I can't go buy a car because I got to put this money into my bank account to compensate for the money I just took out. So that's the way that goes. Let's see who else is in here. Any talk going on in there? Okay, cool. All right, let me clear out a couple of these things. Oh man, this is such a relief, such a weight has been lifted on this thing here. I'm only gonna do this for a couple more minutes. Yeah, for like 3 or 4 more minutes, make this a solid half hour. I don't know how long I've been doing this, but I'll be back. Okay, so let me look at something in the chat. Victor Reyes, you're new to the channel. Am I a teacher? Well, I'm a teacher, but not like a school teacher. I mean, I've done some classes and I've taught art here and there. For a living, I do design for court cases. And for the most part, what we do is tutorials where we teach a concept to judges and juries so they understand the nature of the case they're doing. So there's a lot of explanatory stuff that goes on. So we really have to be able to frame a subject in a way that people can understand it. I also teach martial arts to children and adults. I do applied self-defense. And again, that's one of those things where you have to be able to take concepts and explain them to people in a way that they can accept them, especially when it comes to self-defense. You have to be able to explain things to people in a way that doesn't scare them too much, so that they can be receptive to the things you're telling them that they need to do or that they should be doing, or tactics that they can be doing. So I am a teacher, but I'm not like a school teacher. I'm not that way. What's in the CD collection? But there's a ton of stuff in these CDs behind me over here. Most of these have been converted over to digital. Either we bought new versions of them or we converted them over the years. I'm not exactly sure what's even behind me right over here, because this is my kind of my new office space. I used to be down in my basement where I had an office when I was a freelancer. That's since been taken over by my nephew who's living down there. And so I'm on kind of this back sleeping porch. This is used to be the exterior wall of the house, and it has been used to be a sleeping porch where basically when it was hot, people would sleep out in the open air, or when someone was old, they needed to make sure that their lungs were clear. They have a place for them to go out and sleep to have nice comfort. This has since been enclosed. Before we started here, I don't know, it was probably enclosed in the 60s or something like that, but they left the exterior tile on it. So this is just a small, it's like 5 feet by 25 foot room here. So we've got everything from, this is Steve Winwood, Arc of a Diver. Oh, this is one of my favorite videotapes. I need to convert this over and put this online. I don't know if you've ever seen this. This is, let's see if I can put this at an angle. This is Jackie Chan Martial Arts Mayhem. It is a video compilation of every fight scene of a Jackie Chan movie in the 80s, set to like this crazy house beat. But all it is relentless Jackie Chan fight scenes. And it's just insane. So it's one of my favorite things here. So I'm going to convert that over to digital. We have, let's see, what's going on here? This is Sleepless in Seattle soundtrack, Steve Winwood. Let's see, this is a band Streets, vocal band Street Sounds that a friend of mine is in. This is Beatles. This is Simple Pleasures, Bobby McFerrin. What do we got here? We got some Gershwin. We got some African lullabies. You know, it's a mix of stuff of mine and my wife's and all sorts of things. So it's all over the place. I will get this on. I'll get this online. It's it's one of these bootleg. This VHS is like one of these bootlegs that I got in the 90s. At a comic book convention, a guy would set up a video. A booth, and all it had was just racks of real videos. But then there'd be a side one of just like all the bootlegs of just random handmade stuff. And so I got this. I got this from him. He's, obviously he's since out of business because all that bootleg stuff got shut down. But this is one of my favorite guys. So this is a project of mine to convert this from VHS. It's crap. The video's garbage in terms of like quality. It's just the tracking is horrible and everything like that. But I'll see what I can do. Martial Arts Mayhem is available online. Is it a good copy, or is it another? When you say it's available online, where is it? Let's see if I can find this thing. I'm going to move this over. So someone on the chat, who is it? Dio says that it's available online. So let's see. Let's search that up. Let's see. It's got I see different little track. Yeah, I can see they got bits and pieces of it. I don't know if anybody has the whole thing. Looks like some bootleg download spots might have them. Yeah, don't know if it's any good. I'll have to check that out. Let's do a quick thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And it's just it's just a bad copy as the one I have. That's amazing. But yeah, it's awesome. Let's see what else is going on in chat. Okay, you guys are clowns. All right, I'm gonna sum this up real quick before I go. Does anybody have any direct questions for me that I could probably address fairly quickly? Just so it's not just a few minutes of me rambling. Let me just look through here. So right now, first question. Who has a question for me? Will the flight video be? It's not a stupid question. Will the flight video be live? I'm going to try to go live wherever I can. Honestly, just so you know. If there's a signal, like for example, I'm at a spot and I'm like, for some reason, the flight, maybe they have a streaming service or there's an upgrade that I can do that I can buy like data or something like that. If I can, I will go live whenever possible. I will check on a regular basis. Every so often, you might find me going live just for like a minute and get cut off. That might happen. Like I said, if there's any chance for me to go live, like from whatever small signal I get, I'm going to do it. So just understand that. So what type, someone asks, what type of kind of art do I do? I do comic art. I was like an indie comic artist for years, mostly through the 90s into the early 2000s. I do a variety of styles because I learn design, and so you have to be able to do whatever people tell you to do. But I honestly don't like working in color that much. I'm mostly black and white, pen and ink kind of stuff. And yeah, I've been doing comics for a long time. Let's see what the departure date is. October. Hey, thanks for the donation there. I do not plan on doing a Patreon, at least not yet. I wanted to hold off on Patreon and just do this Kickstarter because I want to actually use your money for something specifically, as opposed to just saying, hey, give me money and I'll do stuff. I do not know when I'll next be streaming. I'm pretty busy coming up. So, but I will try to announce at least 24 to 48 hours beforehand when I will be doing an actual live hangout and, allowing people to come and chime in. Let's see what else here. What did I study in college? I studied physics, math, and design, and illustration and design. That's what I studied in college. How will I feel when I crash into the dome? It'll be when if I happen to crash into the dome, hopefully I'll see it coming. Hopefully, if there is a dome and I'm going to crash into it, hopefully it won't be just like a blind crash. That would suck. Hopefully I'll see it coming, and I'll be able to get like on my phone really quickly and start recording it, and then maybe someone will be able to find that, and I will do a deathbed confession describing exactly what I see, saying that a certain person was right. I'm not going to say it now, because if I say it right now, someone will sample it and then they will use it for whatever purposes they have. But my last words before hitting the dome will be that a certain person was right. That's what will happen. That's what would happen. But I'm not going to say it because I don't want people grabbing it and turning it into a remix, of some, house beat. He'll probably rap to it. Now you know who I'm talking about. He'll probably lay it down as a beat and rap to it if I actually said it right here. So I'm not going to do it. Let's see. Perhaps I can have two cameras, one live and always recording. I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm going to have at least two cameras. I'm trying to come up with this. I have this idea for a thing called the box, and it's going to be like a little kit. That's going to look kind of nondescript and non-threatening to anybody that's going to be on the flight. And inside it, we'll probably have a little foam lining. We'll have a little GPS. We'll have a couple different compasses. I'm thinking a standard North American compass and a global compass, a standard North American calibrated compass will tilt and hit. If the Earth is a globe, when it gets to a certain spot, it will hit because it's pointing down now, and it will stop. So I'm going to have one of those because that's what should happen with that when you get into the southern hemisphere. But I'm also going to have a global compass, which has more play in it. We can tilt a great deal without touching, and it's supposed to work all over the world. So I'm going to have two of them side by side so you can see what happens with one and what happens with the other, and then also what happens when you get to the South Pole and to the North Pole, and what happens to the compass when it passes magnetic north, wherever that happens to be on the trip. It'll point at random bits of metal. I'm not sure what you mean by random bits of metal. If you can clarify that. I don't know if you're talking about it being, being too sensitive for other magnetic fields. I'm also trying to find ones that have the most kind of defense against kind of random magnetic influence. There's some higher quality ones out there. So I'm looking for that as well. Let's see. Things are going by real fast here. Yeah, I'm not going to put TNT on the outside of the box. There will also be like a cell phone in there, which has its own type of level. It has its own compass because it reads things differently. So I'm going to have just and it has a clock on it. So I'm going to have all these together in this box. That's my plan. And then have like a kind of a faux lid above it. And in that, I will have another camera facing down, recording that at all times. So that will be a little thing by itself being recorded at all times. And then I'll have, if possible, I'm going to have a camera out the window or pointing toward the window at all times. I don't know if it's going to be possible for me to just like take a camera and just like adhere it to a window next to my window and just keep it there with a cord going to a battery so it stays charged up. Also, my little box will have a series of batteries in it to make sure everything stays charged up. And then a webcam for myself that I can do my videos that I need to do for people, which I will also use to, if I ever need to change a battery or switch things out, I will kind of keep the cameras overlapping each other. So at no point is there nothing being recorded. So, you know, that's part of the plan. Oh, you guys are getting ahead of me there. Let's see. The whole flight. No, it is not nonstop. How long does it take? They're shooting for 50 hours. I think the record is currently like 51 something. So they're trying to do a world record here. So they're shooting for under 50 hours. But there will be stopovers for refueling, like 45 minutes in Australia, and I think there's a couple hours in Argentina, and then a couple hours in Beijing to just basically stop, refuel, get our passports taken care of, and all that kind of stuff. Take off again, stop, refuel, passports taken care of, take off again, that kind of thing. I would not. Can I take a pancake world believer with me? I would not be surprised if there's going to be someone on there. Hopefully, they know how to act right, and they'll be able to do their thing. Or maybe they'll act up and they'll get arrested, because that's what the people who are putting this together said. You know, if people get out of hand, if anybody tries to do anything that disrupts the flight, we're just going to put them in handcuffs and stick them in the back. And that might happen to them. That would be hilarious, but it's not going to happen to me. Yes, extra storage cards, SDs. Yeah, I'm going to take like a nice kit. I'm only allowed to take, I think, one carry-on with no more than 42 pounds or something like that. So I'm going to have to figure out over time how to be the most efficient as I can, because I need to be able to go from Oakland to New York on this flight, New York back to Oakland, with only having enough clothes so that I can change and not just be nasty during those days, because I need to be able to change into something, and then just the right amount of equipment and kit so that I can come in under that weight. That's what I'm thinking of, coming up with kind of like a bento box of data collection. Now, thank you very much for the donation. I'm not. Yeah, no wonder you're called Mr. Itchy. I am not going commando on a 50-hour flight, son. Not happening. Thanks for putting that picture in my head, though. Let's see. Okay, time for data lunchbox. Time for one more question, one more direct question. First one I see, I will answer, and then yeah, you can't donate because it's done. If you want to do something like a super chat, it'll come to me, and I will still use it toward this project. So, let's see. That cannot be my last question. TSA 57 says, "What if you get detained by the Illuminati and are forced to become part of the conspiracy and hide the flat Earth?" My last words will be on video that X person was right, and I will somehow smuggle that video out if I have to swallow it or hide it Pulp Fiction style. We'll make sure you have it. Not going to answer that about the Mile High Club. It's personal information. Did you see my video? Oh yes, about me and hopeful pessimist. Okay, I'm going to talk to hopeful pessimist here for a second. Yes, I did see your video about me and D Marble, and it's nice to see another person who thinks that they can define atheism the way they want to, and not the way the atheists want to define themselves. You can think that way about me all you want, but that's not the way it goes. Thanks for taking, coming up with positions for me that I don't have, that I have never said, and deciding that you can paint a picture of what my view is of the world. But none of those things, those positions that you gave me as an atheist, were not actually my positions, and so they don't count. But good for you for trying to make a video connecting me and D Marble together. And in a way, you kind of reflected a piece that was in my video when I said there's kind of a relationship between flat earthers and actual science people who understand science, and atheists and traditional theists. There is a connection, and you probably got that, and that's probably why you put those two together, me and him. But I skipped over your whole section about DMarble because I don't care what you think about DMarble. I just looked at the section you had about me, and then after a few minutes, I was like, oh, you're another person who thinks they can define atheism the way they want and apply it to me. So it made it not worth my time. But people see it here, see you talking about it now. Maybe they'll try to find your video. Maybe you'll get some hits because that's probably why you're doing it, because you weren't doing it for the purpose of actual good content, because it wasn't good content. But yes, I did see your video, and that's my opinion of it. And that will be my last comment for the day. I will get back on soon, but I need to start working on this survey to get information from all you who donated. Oh, one more thing. Sometime in the next couple of weeks, I will change my personal website to have a page where people can order shirts. Those of you who didn't want to pay, donate, but still are interested in getting one of the shirts that I have, I'll start putting that up. Now, what I'm going to do is probably for a month, I will allow people to pre-order shirts. And then when I do the print run for all the people who donated, I will put those all together into one big print run, mainly to bring the price point down. It'll be great if we can do it for, less per shirt, to have a higher quality shirt and do less per shirt. So I'll allow folks to order shirts from my Studio Sapien website, or studiosapien.com. I think greatersapien.com will get there as well. You'll be able to order from there. And then when I ship out to those who donated to the Kickstarter, they'll get theirs first. And then there'll be a second wave of shipping out where people who purchased from my website got shirts. And then that'll be it for the shirts for a while. What's going to happen is eventually I'm going to put them up on like a one-off printing shop or something where you can just have your own shirts printed, but they're not going to be as good a quality. They're going to fall apart. You know how those one-off shirt places do. But for the purpose of this Kickstarter, I'm going to a local vendor, Oaklandish here, that does great shirts, and I'm going to have high quality shirts done for you guys. And so I'll give you guys who didn't have a chance to get in on a Kickstarter a chance to order those. There'll be one print run of those. It's kind of a limited real print run, and then they'll be done. And then eventually I'll put something up, like a Teespring or something like that, where you can get kind of cheapo knockoff versions. But or maybe I'll give you guys put up a file online, so then you guys can go order your own. You can upload them and do your own. You could do that as well, because honestly, I'm not doing this for the profit. I'm just doing this for this project. So, so sorry, Daystick, or Dastic, you're saying you're happy that I'm live, but this is literally the last words that are coming out of my mouth right now. Sorry about that. It was just a kind of a spur of the moment thing just to carry this Kickstarter to the end. So that's it, folks. We did something that they didn't think was going to happen. They didn't think it was possible. Got mocked a lot. That we were never going to be able to do it. And now they have to change their tune a little bit, which is now they have to dismiss this whole project altogether and saying that it's fake. So it's going to be interesting to see what story they come up with to explain how I faked this thing and how it's all rigged. It's going to be amazing, the twists and turns they come up with to deny the existence of this thing. But it'll be fun. And it wouldn't have been possible without you guys. So I'm going to let these be my last words. Thanks.